come on in because we got a lot to talk about. And we're going to be here for a while because I got a lot to talk about. I'm going to have to break this video up into 3 smaller ones later on because I know people ain't going to want to sit here and listen to me for an hour and a half. It's going to be some of you. But all my ride and dies, y'all go get your favorite drink, your wine, your bottle of water, your electrolytes, whatever it is you like to think, because we're going to be here a minute. And I'm already start letting everybody else who knows, who's all the big Ashley fans, y'all going to be mad at me. I'm telling you right now, y'all going to be mad at me, but I still love you. And I hope you love me too, because there's going to be some healthy disagreement going on in this video. It's going to be some healthy disagreement because I already know, based on the comments some of y'all wrote me about the video I did on Ashley, about her interview with Chris Alexo, you're going to get mad again. Maybe I ought to start giving my videos a rating, the mad rating. Are you going to be a little mad, some mad, a whole lot mad? I'm going to tell you right now, this might be X. I don't know. You're going to be mad. Because I know some people are going to want me to get all on Stormy. That's it. That's the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging fruit is we're going to get on Stormy and talk about Stormy, how she wasn't no good friend and all this other kind of stuff. She wasn't no friend. She absolutely wasn't no friend. That's true. But I'm not going to be getting on Stormy. I'm not. You know why? Because Ashley picked her just like Ashley picked all the other men. I know everybody want to keep calling Ashley a victim. I really know. I know that's what people want to do. But after Ashley got on that Crystal XO video and stuck her chest out and told all of us we were the one with the problem, she don't need no protection.
I believe in giving a man their flowers. I don't care what some women may think of me for doing that. It's nothing wrong with doting on a man.
She don't need no protection. She don't want to come up under the bosom of the family who wants to protect her and help her. Nah, Ashley told us on that Crystal XL video, she want to do what she want to do. And if y'all want to sit over there with your dry, thirsty throats, then you sit over there. But she going to keep hers moist and she going to do what she wants to do. She said if she don't want to read a room, she ain't going to read a room. A lot of y'all told me about Ashley talking about, well, how do you know, Deborah, that men are uncomfortable with her? Because I know how to read a room. That's how I know. I don't need to wait on verbal communication from people. I don't. There's a lot of forms of communication, people. It's not just verbal. Okay, there's written communication. There's also physical communication when you walk away, when you don't respond. That's communication. Everybody waiting for a man to tell Ashley, I'm not interested. Everybody waiting for a man to tell Ashley, I'm uncomfortable. And now she gets to say victim because nobody said those words to her. Nah, she didn't learn how to read a room. And once again, she didn't read no room with this guy, Kirsten, who we all knew wasn't interested in her. She didn't know how to read no room with Kirsten. But guess who did read the room? Stormy. And you know why I like Stormy? As much as a bunch of y'all may say you didn't like Stormy, because what Stormy did was Stormy said, I could show you better than I can tell you. See, I'm sitting over here trying to tell Ashley. Ashley, these men are not interested in you. These men aren't interested in you, Ashley. You need to leave it alone. You need to let them go. But Ashley told me on the video with Crystal XO, keep your mouth shut. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to give flowers. When I want to give flowers. And I kept saying, Ashley, no, they're not interested in you like that. You shouldn't be approaching random men saying this. They're uncomfortable. Ashley told me, keep your mouth shut. So Stormy came up in here and said, you know what? I'm going to show Ashley better than I can tell her. And what Stormy did was Stormy came up there and stole that man Kirsten from her in 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Stormy couldn't even sit down before that man was talking about how this was a beautiful surprise. This was a beautiful surprise. Stormy didn't even need to work that hard to steal Kirsten from Ashley. And who was Ashley mad at? Stormy. Stormy ain't no friend of Ashley's. And let me tell you this, that's another red flag. That of all the people to come on this show from your season of Ready to Love, you brought Stormy on here. You wasn't for sure how Stormy would perform, and you still brought Stormy on here. You didn't know everybody else had a real friend, but who could show up for Ashley? Nobody. That's a red flag. When you don't have nobody who can step up for you in the role you want them to, that's a red flag. That is a red flag. I said it what was it, last season, season before, when Jeffrey on Ready Love didn't have nobody to come on Ready Love for her, and now we got Ashley. But y'all keep thinking Ashley is a victim out here. Y'all keep thinking it's Ashley being completely done wrong out here. No, because like I told you from the Crystal XO video, Ashley is for herself. She told me on the Crystal XO video, I don't care who the man is. I'm going to go in Walmart. I'm going to go in Target. I'm going to go to a bar mitzvah. I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to give men their flowers. And I don't care if they want these flowers or not. I'm going to shove them down their throat. I'm not checking to see if any of these men are married. Nope, she didn't say none of that.
And I'm going to make friends, whether I'm with this man or not. I'm not doing that because I'm trying to get him to pick me. It's because this is what I see. And I want this man to feel like a king when he's in my presence, and it is what it is. I walk in Walmart, dollar store, business office, bar mitzvah, funeral. I don't care where I'm at.
Yeah.
If you look good, you look good. If you put that on, you put that on.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make you feel good for the day, and I'm going to go on about my business.
She didn't say she's checking to see if these men want this attention. She didn't say, is this man taken? She said she's going to do what the hell she wants to do. She's going to get flowers. And then she told us she doesn't care if they give the words back to her. Lies, lies, lies. Like my video said, contradictions, fake news, because Ashley is running around here telling all you guys that she's just a nice person and she just loves to give compliments. Nope. She likes to give compliments to get something back from that person. And then when she doesn't get back what she wants, she gets up and she storms away. Well, guess what? Stormy brought a storm. Stormy brought a storm. She sure did. And Ashley sat up here and said, all these compliments I've been giving Kirsten all this time, wiping the sweat off his brow, doting all over him. And the minute a girl like Stormy walks in the room, next thing you know, his eyes are turning towards Stormy because he was never interested in Ashley. But like a lot of people out here, because he didn't verbally say it, it didn't make it true. No, it was true. It was true before we even saw what happened with Stormy. He wasn't interested in Ashley. And Stormy did what Stormy needed to do is I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. She needed to be thanking Stormy. She needed to be thanking Stormy on just how easy it was to pull the attention away from her onto someone else. And Ashley, instead of being mad at Stormy, she needed to be thanking Stormy. She needs to be thanking her. Like I said, this video is about fake news and contradictions. And all these friends have stolen and shown the contradiction in these ladies. And when Ashley sat there talking about she doesn't care if people give her compliments, she doesn't care, she's just a nice person, she likes to do things. No, you don't. Ashley likes to do things for the shine. Ashley likes to do things for the attention. That's with the nails. That's with all the antics. It's for attention. And then when she doesn't get the attention she wants, then she wants to cry foul and call the victim. She should have never been even going out with Kirsten. Not at all. There shouldn't have been even an opportunity for Kirsten to dog her out like he did. There shouldn't have been an opportunity for even Stormy to do what she did. But what does Ashley do? No, she invites this into her life. She allows this into her life. These people can't be here unless they're invited by Ashley. So now Ashley's the victim because she opens up the door. She don't know how to read a room. She don't know how to rely upon nonverbal communication to see what's really going on. And everybody else needs to always hug around Ashley. What about what Ashley's doing? Like I said in the Crystal XO video, what about Ashley? When is Ashley gonna have any responsibility for her behavior? Or does she just get to sit on Crystal XO and all these other channels and tell us she gonna keep doing what she wants to do, but then when she's treated wrong, she wants to blame everybody else? Nah. I'm gonna get into all these contradictions, all of them, because all the ladies are showing contradictions. All of them. Zadia is showing contradiction, Shari is showing contradiction, and so is Vanisha. You know, I've come a long way with Vanisha, a long road. Y'all got mad at me the week before about the nipple video, but I got more for you this week too. I know y'all gonna be mad again because here we have all this time. I'm gonna tell you where I started with Vanisha. I really like Vanisha, and it's not that I don't like Vanisha. I like Vanisha, but something about Vanisha's story wasn't adding up because I see Vanisha. She seems like a nice woman. She's beautiful. She's got a nice figure, right? And I hear Vanisha talk about how she wants to be a homemaker. She wants to cook. She wants to dote on her man. Then in this video, we find out Vanisha don't even want to come home to midnight. Contradiction. So you a homemaker that don't want to come out to midnight. You got a man standing in front of you. Whether I like Jabari or not, you got a man standing in front of you, Jabari and everybody else, talking about, no, I'm home at 9, 10 o'clock because I got to get up and go to work. And that someone tells you, well, that's not my lifestyle. I don't get to home to midnight. Well, then you're not a homemaker. What kind of homemaker is not home till midnight? Then how are you being a homemaker if you ain't even at home? Contradiction. See, people want to spin a narrative to make you think, oh, wow, I don't understand. You should have a man. But the more and more and more I listen to Vanisha, I already know what's going on. The more I listen, the more I watch. And guess who exposed the contradiction? Her friend Liz. Her friend Liz came in and exposed the contradiction and said she ain't at home. She is not at home. Vanisha over here selling that she's a homemaker. Vanisha's over here selling the story that she's a homemaker. Her friend Liz comes in and says she ain't even at home. The man says, hey, no, I like to be home and in the bed at 9, 10 o'clock. And Vanisha said, well, that don't fit into my lifestyle. I don't even be home at that time. Then you're not a homemaker. You're not a homemaker. I'm sorry to tell it. And I'm okay if she wants to be out to midnight, but don't sell me something over here, but then contradict it over here and sell me something different. Contradictions, people. That's what my video is about. Contradictions and fake news. Fake news. And I'm going to go on to Sharice as well, because Sharice got a couple of men that showed up this week. Decent men. What was their name? Mizelle and something else. We're going to get to them. Decent men. You think Sharice is going to pick them? Do you think Sharice is going to pick them? How many of you think Sharice is going to pick these men? Or do you think Sharice is going to end up calling back Maurice, the man with the Louis Vuitton shoes on and Louis Vuitton vest? Which one of you think? All of you raise your hand if you right now believe Sharice is going to call back Maurice. Because in the end, the contradiction is going to be all these other nice things that Sharice says she wants him in. We've seen it. We've seen it in Walter. We've seen all these men come through. Now Mizelle. Now these other men that are coming through. The man who's a dean of a school. But in the end, what's going to be the contradiction? All that's not going to matter, because what Sharice really wants is the Louis Vuitton. That's what she really wants. It's a contradiction. It's a contradiction. Right now, my hand is raised. My vote is going for Maurice is going to end up coming back. Sharice is going to give him another chance. And that's what I'm believing. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and I'm okay with that. Because in the end, if I am wrong about it, that means that Sharice is growing, and I'm all for that. If I'm wrong and she don't call back Maurice and she does pick one of these men, then I'm going to clap for her, because I'm going to then say, you know what? Sharice is growing, and I'm all for her. All for her. And then what's the next contradiction with Zadia? The next contradiction. Remember, Zadia wants a soft life, y'all. Zadia wants the soft life. She wants to be able to work when she wants to work. She wants a man to come in and protect, provide for her, and provide her with the soft life. But where's the contradiction that her friend exposed, Camille? Her friend Camille exposed that Zadia don't even want to move nowhere where a man wants to be. She doesn't want to move where the man makes his money. So the very morning she wants to provide the soft life, Zadia don't want to move where that money is. Zadia ain't looking for a man. Zadia is not looking for a man. Zadia is looking for a wife. Zadia is looking for a wife. She's looking for a sucker. She's looking for a punk. She's looking for a man just like her friend exposed, Camille said, you're going to need a man who gives you a lot of attention. Another contradiction. How can I be a man out here making all this money so I can provide you with the soft life, but then again, you expect me to have all this time for you? Go talk to LeBron James. He's gone 9 months out of the year. Go talk to men who really make a lot of money. They ain't got a lot of time for you women because they're too busy making the money to provide for you. Contradictions. I want you to make a lot of money. I want you to be able to leave your money. And then I want you to be able to have a lot of time for me whenever I want time with you. Contradictions. The two don't even line up. The two don't even line up. So let's go a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit deeper and start talking about Ashley. Let's talk about Ashley because like I said, Ashley can't pick a man and she can't pick a friend either. Or there are just no friends who want to show up for Ashley. There are no friends who want to show up for Ashley. Maybe because they're tired of being called the perpetrator of Ashley. Maybe after a while, people get tired of being blamed for Ashley's woes. Maybe when you get too close to Ashley, because she's such a victim all the time, she's always crying, she's so fragile. Maybe when you get too close to Ashley, she's always blaming you for breaking her. And then maybe after a while, that runs people away. Right? Because why didn't Ashley have nobody else to come here for her? You got to start asking you some questions. When you're such a nice person out in the world and you always thinking about other people, you should have plenty of people to pick from to show up for you. You should have plenty of people. Plenty. Okay? Plenty. But here we have Stormy. Stormy. I don't even think Stormy and Ashley are really good friends. I don't think so. I think Stormy just showed up because, I don't know, some other kind of reason. I don't know. But I don't think they're really good friends because I don't think any of Ashley's so-called friends really wanted to show up for her because I believe what I've said about Ashley is Ashley likes to run around and talk like she's a victim. But deep down, I'm telling you, Ashley does what she wants to do for herself, and she does these things to get recognition and to get praise from other people. But she doesn't care. She doesn't, deep down, she's not really doing it for you or anybody else that she's in a relationship with. She's doing it for herself. She's doing it for herself. I know y'all know people like this. I know y'all know people out in the world who behave like this, who do this. Do any of y'all do volunteer work? Because I do. I do volunteer work. I feed the homeless. I do lots of volunteer work. And let me tell you something I've had to learn over time. When you're out doing volunteer work, there's oftentimes a lot of people there helping. It could be any volunteer project. There could be hundreds of people there working. And what you'll realize is that people are there doing the work for different reasons. It doesn't mean any less. They're definitely contributing their time, they're contributing their effort, and they're helping for a cause. But what you have to look at sometimes is, why are they there? Why are they there? You know, whenever you're on a volunteer project, do you know that some people are there because they have to do so many hours of community service work because they got in trouble somewhere else? They're there for different reasons. Do you know some people are there because they have to put it on their resume so their resume looks good? They're not there because they really want to do it. They're there because I need to put it on my resume so I can get into this school, this college. They're there because they've been ordered by the court to do community service. Okay? Everybody's not there for the same reasons. Everybody's not being nice for the same reasons. Some people give money. Rich people give money all the time to charities. Does it mean we don't want to take their money if you run a charity? Absolutely, you want to take their money. But sometimes people are giving money because they're getting a tax write-off. Sometimes it's not about the heart. Sometimes it's for a different reason. And I know everybody wants to sit out here and believe that everything Ashley is doing is because of her goodness of her heart. But I'm telling you right now, it's not true. It's not true. Because if it were true, when you realize that what you're doing isn't making a person feel good, or it's what a person doesn't want, you would stop it. You would stop it. But when it's really for yourself, you keep going no matter how the other person feels. I know y'all keep saying, well, no one's told Ashley that. Well, okay, I'm going to tell all you guys, you need to learn about the different forms of communication. Every communication is not verbal. If I'm walking down the street and a man starts catcalling me, but I don't turn around and I keep walking, does that mean I'm not offended by his remarks? No. If I don't turn around and say thank you or respond to you in a nice way, that means I don't like your remarks. Why do I have to confront you? Why does Ashley get to go around and catcall men and do this to men, but then we say, oh, she can keep doing it, nobody's offended by it? Why? Why do people have to confront Ashley? Why can't Ashley look at nonverbal cues? You know why? Because she's doing it for herself. If she had looked at the nonverbal cues of Kirsten, she would have already known Kirsten wasn't interested in her. So why is she mad now? She should have already known this. I knew it. Plenty of you knew it. Why is she now mad more at Stormy than she's mad at Kirsten? Why is she talking about Stormy? Talking about the way Stormy was dressed. Talk about the way... Actually, you just said you love to get flowers. If you look good, you look good. So what, Stormy can't dress good no more? Wait a minute, Ashley. You just said you like to give people flowers, dote on men when they look good. Now all of a sudden, Stormy can't look good? So just her mere presence of walking in looking good bothers you? Nah. Walking contradictions. Like Ashley said, Stormy, you're supposed to be here for me. You're supposed to be here for me. Well, she was there for you because she exposed Kirsten to you and you didn't see it. You didn't see the nonverbal cues. So Stormy did do something for you. She exposed him for you. You ought to be thankful, Ashley. You actually ought to be thankful. When Ashley got up and stormed away from that table, did nobody go after her? Stormy didn't go after her, and neither did that man Kirsten. In fact, Kirsten whipped out a fan. He was so unbothered by her getting up and running away, he whipped out his fan and started fanning himself. But she ain't got no heat for Kirsten. Come on now. Come on now, people. And then when this other man showed up, Christopher, he was 35-year-old insurance broker, and he talked about he just broke up from a 3-year relationship at 3 months ago. He definitely shouldn't have been here. He definitely should have been here. But what y'all busting out laughing when you heard Ashley say, you shouldn't be here dating right now. You should be going somewhere and healing. Girl, Ashley, you talking about Christopher needs to go somewhere and heal after 3 months. It's been 10 years since you broke up with Alex and you still crying over that. But he's the one that needs to go and heal? Good Lord, if this ain't the pot calling the kettle black. So she can see it in everybody else, but she can't see it in herself. Oh. Nah, I wouldn't be no friend with Ashley, because you know what? You're going to get bit by Ashley. You're going to be standing up for Ashley, but Ashley ain't going to stand up for you. Ashley always going to look for the opportunity to be the victim. But she never going to be in a space where she wants to take personal responsibility. So anytime something goes wrong, if you the friend near Ashley, she going to blame you for it. She is. I already know. I know that personality. I know the personality that's always wants to cry and be the victim, and everything is woe is her. Everything goes wrong with her. But yet they dealing with the same problems everybody else out here in the world is dealing with. Ain't nobody got a patent on grief and sorrow and heartache and men doing them wrong. No one. We all been victims of this. We've all lost loved ones, right? We've all dealt with grief. We've all dealt with sorrow. Ashley's not out here in the world all by herself, but we also all need to learn and take accountability in these things that go on so we can get better. So yeah, we can heal from what happened, but we also can get better. But what Ashley wants to do is Ashley don't want to change. Ashley wants to keep doing whatever she wants to do. And as she continually becomes a victim, then she wants to blame everybody else. Nah, it's time for Ashley to grow up and take some personal responsibilities for some of the messes she finds herself in. Just like this bad date, right? Just like she's telling Christopher here, he needs to not be dating and go back and heal. Girl, take your own advice. You shouldn't even be here. And now we're moving on to Vanisha, the next contradiction, because this has been completely exposed by Liz. Liz, the woman of God. Liz was one of our favorites on the Ready to Love. She got dogged out by that man she was with. When he cheating on her, horrible. But here she is on here trying being the friend of Vanisha. That's nice. That's nice. I love it. I love every bit of it. I love every bit of it. But Liz pointed out right away that Jabari ain't for you, Vanisha. Jabari's not. It's the same thing we've been saying all this time. Jabari's not for you. Jabari's not for you, because what Liz did was Liz sifted through all the sexual energy. She sifted through all the sexual energy, and she went to the right of the meat and said, are you two even compatible? Because what we know is Vanisha been over here keeping Jabari hanging on because of the sexual energy that Jabari gives her. That's why she's been keeping Jabari, because nothing else about Jabari, the lifestyle he wants to live, who he is, says that he and Vanisha even go together. And what Liz do was she went straight to the heart of it. What is the biggest contradiction? Jabari is looking for a woman that wants to be home at 9 o'clock with her man, her husband. And Vanisha just said, I don't even be at home at 9 o'clock. I'm still in the streets. I don't get home to midnight. And Liz said, that ain't Vanisha's life. But Vanisha's over here telling everybody she wants to be a homemaker. She wants to be a housewife. But then she says, no, I can't be home at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I don't get home to midnight. She didn't say one night a week. So what if it's one night a week, Vanisha? No, Vanisha says she ain't at home, period. Period. Jabari's from Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi. Jabari saying we don't need all this money to live in Jackson, Mississippi. We can live a nice, good life off my money if we move back to Jackson, Mississippi, or wherever we are. And Vanisha said, no, I need to live the high life in the city. I'm telling you. Contradictions, differences in stories. And we want to know why Vanisha hasn't found her man. I'm going to tell you why. Because Vanisha presents one thing over here, but Vanisha's actually a different woman. And I'm not even saying anything's wrong with who Vanisha is as a woman. Get this straight. I don't have a problem with who Vanisha is as a woman, but with the story that she's selling, it's not the story of who she really is. And as a result, she attracts the wrong type of men. She attracts the wrong type of men because in the end, she can't even deliver what she's promising. She can't deliver what she's promising. That's why it never becomes a match. Vanisha needs to really start presenting. Just say who she really is. That's why I was saying before, I would see Vanisha talking about being a homemaker and I love to make a house a home. But then I was like, I don't understand why Vanisha's always leading with her body and her nipples. I said, I don't understand it. It's not giving what the man she says she wants to attract. She says she wants to attract a certain type of man, but I felt like her dress was attracting another type of man. Now we find out that Vanisha says, I don't want to be home at 9 or 10 o'clock. I don't. I want to be home. I want to come home at late at night. Late at night. I got events to go through. I got things I want to do. That's fine, Vanisha. People understand that who are in the entertainment world. They do. But that's not the same world that you over here promoting. It's a contradiction. It confuses people. You're saying one thing, but you're a different person. Nah. Now I see it. Now I see the reasons why Vanisha's had a hard time actually coming together with a man. I'm not going to say attracting a man because she don't have no problem with that. It's the coming together of a man. And I know all of y'all said, well, you act like Vanisha ain't got nothing more to her. When she was going out with this man, Jabari. Actually, I think Jabari might be a good fit for Vanisha. I do. He's an entrepreneur. He got 5 and 6 things going on that he's doing. I hope Vanisha drops Jabari and goes with Jabari. Drop the J and go for the T. I think she's going to do it, and I think it's going to be a good move. A good move. But did y'all hear when Jabari asked her, what do you know, I like to do a lot of things. What do you like to do? And Vanisha said, oh, everything. And he's like, well, give me an example. And then it was crickets. When he asked Vanisha, remember I kept saying, Vanisha don't really talk in depth about too many things. I said, what else is there to Vanisha? What does she like to do? All we kept hearing was, I'm a homemaker. I'm a homemaker. Now we hear she likes to be out to midnight. We know that ain't true. Jabari started asking her some questions like, what do you like to do for fun? And she said, everything. You know what I'm saying? When someone says everything, that pretty much means they ain't got no answer for you. She said, oh, everything. He. Nah, I'm not believing it. Not believing it. Let me know what it is, Vanisha. What do you like to do? I'm telling you right now, it's going to be stuff like, oh, I like to go to dinner. I like to go out to the club. I like to sit in VIP. I like to do these things. That's what it's going to end up being. That's exactly what it's going to end up being. And the more you're going to hear it, then you're going to realize, wow, this isn't lining up to this whole homemaker thing I've heard. Nah, it ain't lining up. But I do hope she chooses Jabari. I hope she chooses him. But here's going to be the other problem. Is Vanisha going to leave Houston and come down to the South with Jabari? Or is Jabari going to have to leave and go to Houston where Vanisha is? Probably. She going to want him to leave. Maybe he can leave. He said he was a realtor. You can sell real estate anywhere. You can get a license in Houston and sell real estate up there. He said that he managed a restaurant. Well, maybe he can manage a restaurant in Houston. Then he said he also does what does he do? Radio station. Is that a podcast these days? He said he owns a radio station. Is that a radio station podcast? I don't know what it is. But he could do that anywhere, any kind of studio, I guess. So maybe he's mobile. Maybe he would be one that can move where Vanisha wants him to move so she can still be able to go out and do her VIP treatment and do her events and promotions in Houston where she already probably has a name recognition. Because Vanisha don't want to move from that area because that's where her money is. She make her money not only doing hair, she make her money on appearances, I guess. I don't know. So she can't really move from Houston. Once again, is she really ready to make a move? Not really. Not really. Not really. She's not ready to make a move because that's where her money is. And she's not willing to give up that money unless you're willing to pay for all her lifestyle, like she said. This is all fake news and contradictions. I keep telling y'all, this is fake news and contradictions. When Lynn started getting into it with Jabari and really asking some good questions, really good questions, and said, what do you do? He's like, I teach human resources. I think I didn't even know what he did before. I never even really heard what he did. I'm glad he told us that. He teaches human resources. He said he just want to come home and be at peace. Well, he going to come home to an empty house because Vanisha don't get home to midnight. She don't get home to midnight. He said, I would want my woman home when I get home. He said, I don't know about no homemaker that get home after me. He said, I want to be the boss in my home house. But Liz said, well, do you have a problem with a woman who's a boss at work? He said, not really, as long as she don't want to come home and be a boss at home. Vanisha said, well, being a boss is a 24-hour thing. It ain't a 9 to 5. Woo! Once again, Vanisha want to be a homemaker at home with a man paying all the bills, but she don't want to come home before midnight. And she says she want to be a boss 24 hours. She don't want it to end at 5 o'clock. If this ain't a walking contradiction, y'all, if this is not a walking contradiction, I don't even know what is. This is one of the biggest contradictions I've ever seen. And Vanisha says she ain't settling. I know she ain't settling. She's not going to settle. She's not going to settle. She's not going to settle. Because she wants the contradiction. She wants the contradiction. And so then she will never settle, because she will never settle for reality. She will never settle for reality. She said she don't think Jabari is for her because she don't think Jabari can handle her. Well, I thought she was a homemaker. What's so hard about handling a homemaker? Because you're not a homemaker. You're not. And she's right. Jabari can handle her. So I'm finally happy to see that we might be coming to the end with Jabari, because it wasn't a good fit from the beginning. And it's not just a good fit because supposedly Jabari don't make enough money and Jabari want to go 50-50 and all that. No, we seen other reasons why they're not a good fit. A whole lot of other reasons. I think Vanisha's going to choose Jabari with a T. I do, and I'm happy for it. And she told him, may the best man win. May the best women. Girl, Jabari ain't even in the race no more. Jabari knows this ain't no long-term thing with you. Jabari's already summed it up and realized you all ain't a good fit. So the only reason Jabari would stay around was, like I said in my last video, to suck on your titties. That's it. He knows that this ain't no fit long-term. He knows he does not want you for a wife, just like you know you don't want him for a husband. This is the end. So may the best man win. Once again, there is no race. There is no competition right now for Vanisha. Jabari don't want Vanisha no more either. I don't care what he says. He already has figured it out, just like I have figured it out. And I'm sure some of y'all have figured it out too. Now we're going to move on to the next contradiction. Zadia, the soft life Zadia, who doesn't want to move, who wants the man who's established himself in an area like Cameron, who not only is a doctor or a pharmacist, but he also said he has other side businesses, multiple streams of income that he has generated in Louisiana. And then what she says is, no, I want you to forget about all that. And then what I want you to do is I want you to move to Washington, D.C., where I am. And then I want you to reestablish yourself, and I want you to work really hard. And then, but I also want you to spend a lot of time and attention on me. How do I got time to do all that, Zadia? Walking contradiction. But you know who exposed it? Her friend Camille. Is Camille engaged to Cornelius? I didn't see no engagement ring. I didn't see no wedding ring. I mean, it's been almost 4 years since they got together. I think that was 3 seasons ago. Plus, they was together a whole year before the show even aired, which means she's been with Cornelius for at least 3 years. Is she even engaged? I'm not going to get on her too much because she's not really the topic of this show. But I just remember her experience on Ready to Love, how she was ready to fight women over Cornelius, and he still ain't put no ring on it. He ain't even giving her a locket on her neck. He hasn't even given her one of them little hearts where she wears half and he wears the other half. No engagement. Last time he said they need to go to counseling first before they got engaged, and then they would get engaged, and then they would get married. He had about 6 steps before he would marry her. So now here we are 4 years later, and I don't know, she don't even got no engagement ring. But she said she would fight for him. But we know what she did. She exposed the contradiction to her friend. She said she ain't going nowhere. She exposed the contradiction. Yeah, she's on this show ready to move, ready to make a move, but I already know she ain't gonna make no move. Because what Zadia wants everything for herself. She's not willing really to do nothing for no other man. Nah. Zadia ain't ready to give. Zadia is ready to receive. And her friend exposed her for sleeping with Cameron too. I know y'all said, well, how do I know? You don't got no facts on that. It's an opinion. It's my YouTube channel. It's my opinion. Just like Camille said, it's the same opinion. Oh, y'all sharing the same cup of coffee? You comfortable drinking each other's backwash? Y'all must have done more. Exactly. Because when your list been on something more than a coffee cup, it ain't no big deal to drink a coffee cup after somebody. Camille exposed it. Once again, Camille exposed the contradictions. Just like I knew it was a contradiction. Oh, I'm so demure, don't touch me like that. But then again over here, girl, you don't already slept with the man. Contradictions. And Camille exposed it. Once again, friends exposing the fake news and the contradictions. Camille was right. Is that the only thing you've tasted is her coffee? No, it ain't, Camille. You and I both know the truth. You and I both know the truth. I like Cameron's forthrightness. He said, no, I want to stay in the South. He says, I'm from Omaha. Cameron's from Omaha? He said, I'm from Omaha. I'm not looking to move back up north to no snow. I'm staying in the South. So if Zadia wants this money, if Zadia wants me, if Zadia wants the soft life that I'm telling her I would set her up for, Zadia needs to move to me. Good, Cameron. Hold your ground. Hold steady for your ground. And Zadia's going to have to realize that she's going to have to give up something too. Zadia's going to have to realize that she's going to have to give up something too. And that might mean giving up her neighborhood in Washington, D.C. Cameron said he felt like he was on trial. That's how he felt in the firing line of Camille. Zadia need to get her another friend who vets men besides Camille, because I don't think Camille helps Zadia. People already think Zadia is too hardcore, too strong, too this. And then she brings Camille, who's just her times two. She's just her times two. It's just the same look. And I'm going to tell you, that scares men even more. When they already think you one way, too strong, too assertive, too stuck in your ways. And then you bring your friend who's your best friend and she's you times two. What they start to realize is, oh, wow, yeah, she really is this. All it does is scare men more away. Zadia needs to get her a friend who's the opposite of her, who's actually more soft, who's actually more agreeable. So that friend can teach Zadia. Zadia not learning what she needs to learn from Camille. Camille is reinforcing the parts of Zadia that Zadia actually needs to forget. The parts of Zadia that she needs to shed, she's not shedding it because she has a friend like Camille who's reinforcing the same behavior. Nah, like I said in my analogies, that's like an alcoholic hanging around other drunks. It ain't got Camille too far, Zadia. It hasn't gotten Camille too far. Camille's own fiance, and he ain't even a fiance, own boyfriend, said that he's going to need to go to counseling with Camille before he wants to be engaged to marry her. And for 4 years, she hasn't been able to change her ways enough for this man to put a ring on it, even for engagement. But yet, you're still taking advice from her, and she's telling you to be more of what you don't need to be. So you ain't listening. You're not listening. You need another friend in your life to tell you opposite of Camille, because what Camille is doing ain't even working for her. Good Lord. Good Lord, people. Camille called it right. Camille said that she didn't even think Cameron was for Zadia. They're not equally yoked. I agree, Camille. They are not equally yoked. They're not equally yoked at all. What Cameron is looking for is not Zadia. It's not. And what Zadia is looking for is not Cameron. So she is correct in that they're not equally yoked. She is totally correct and not equally yoked. But I think where they're missing it is where does the change need to come from? Where does the change need to come from? And then that's where I'm going to diverge from Camille's advice. It's Zadia who needs to make a change. Zadia needs to make a change so that she becomes more equally yoked with different people. And and Zadia needs to change some of her yoke. You're right, they're not equally yoked, but Zadia needs to change some of her yoke because some of her yoke don't go with a lot of people. A lot of people. Then they put this other guy in front of her named Dylan. Dylan is a school teacher coming from New York, 1 year in his career. He just moved from New York. He said now he's down here 1 year being a school teacher. And Zadia said, no, that ain't good enough for me because you only 1 year in your career. Another contradiction. Actually, Zadia, this is the guy you probably would want. Because the fact that he's only 1 year into his career would mean it wouldn't be that big of a deal for him to pick up and become a school teacher in Houston. He's only been here a year. He doesn't have deep roots. He hasn't established a whole business. So Zadia asked a man like Cameron, who's a doctor in the area, who has several businesses in the area. She asked that man to uproot himself and come to Houston. But the man that's only been here for 1 year, who just moved here, who would be the more likely candidate to uproot himself and go to Houston or go to DC, Sorry, DC. She doesn't ask him. She doesn't ask him. You know why? Because she don't like the money of the school teacher, but she liked the money of the doctor. And I guess she didn't like the goofiness of Dylan. Maybe because he said he was dyslexic. I don't know. But like I said, another contradiction. Because if you really want a man who's willing to move to where you are, then you should have more conversation with Dylan. That's who you should have been talking to. He's the man that's willing to move. He just moved from New York here. Why not ask him if he wants to come to DC? Nah. She want to uproot the man that's got deep roots in the city already, in the state. And she want him to uproot his whole tree and move it to DC. But the man that ain't even deep rooted, now she says, oh, you're not firmly planted. What a contradiction. She want to uproot the man that's firmly planted, but then the man that's not firmly planted, oh, you're not stable enough. This is crazy, y'all. This is some crazy stuff. Then we move on to Sharice and LJ. LJ showed up for Sharice. He was a good friend to her. He was a good friend. He pointed out some things. Woo! She said she likes Keith's openness and honesty. The fact that he told her, you know, I raised my kid for 25 years. I was basically a stay-at-home dad. Not stay-at-home, but I raised my son for 25 years. I'm actually just now getting the opportunity to travel. So really, I ain't been nowhere except where he said he went, Houston or something, the next state over. That was funny. He said his idea of a good time is going for a walk, eating some ice cream, and talking and having conversation. But then Sharice just get rid of a man because he didn't talk. But now you got a man who says he wants to go on long walks with you, eat ice cream, and talk to you. But then you say you don't want that man. I tell you, the contradictions are plentiful. Plentiful. She just dumped a whole man, Maurice, because he didn't like to talk. He was going out on dates, eating food, stuffing food in his mouth. And now you got a man who says, I want to go on long walks and sit with you and talk and have ice cream. And she said, no, thank you. He said, for the first time I went on my own solo trip because 25 years I've been having to travel with my kid, going places. They said, where'd you go? He said, Dallas. So he's offering her conversation, which is what she wants. He's offering her no kids. Didn't she say she wanted a man with no kids? He ain't got no more kids no more. His son is now 25 years old. He's free of kids. He could travel if you wanted him to. But what did she say? Nah, no thank you. You know why? Because he don't have no Louis Vuitton. That's why. She didn't even ask him, well, do you want to travel outside of Dallas? Do you want to go some other places? She didn't even get that far. Not at all. She didn't get that far at all with her questions. Like I said, how many of you think she's going to call back Maurice? I do. Because she's already getting rid of Keith. She about to get rid of Keith, the man who says he wants to go on long walks and talk with her. She'd rather sit with Maurice at a restaurant quiet, eating food with designer wear on and some plane tickets booked for Paris. That's what she would prefer. Why you need conversation when all you're going to do is sit in first class and put your earbuds in anyway and watch your movie on the TV screen? What difference does it make if you got conversation? You ain't going to be talking anyway. You're going to be sitting in first class with your earbuds in, watching the videos, the movies, eating food, escargot, going to look at the Eiffel Tower. That's all she's interested in. She really ain't interested in no long walks and talking. I like Mazel. He's 55, the one that took her dancing. He's a school dean. I guess he's a dean of a school. Y'all think she's going to choose Mazel? I don't. No, because Sharice adds up money. And deans of school, they make good money. They do make good money. But do y'all think she's going to choose Mazel? I don't. I think Mazel is just too down to earth for her. I do. I don't think Mazel is the man who wants to be out and live the life that Sharice wants to live. I don't think he wants that. I think these are men from the South who like a nice, peaceful lifestyle at home. I do. That's what I think that he wants. Mazel said he wants a nice, reserved woman. He said he wants a nice, polished and reserved woman, which I think when he looks at Sharice, I think that's what he thinks he's getting, a polished and reserved woman. He wants a nice, a peaceful life, not boring. It ain't going to be peaceful with Sharice. Life is not going to be peaceful with Sharice. Because even if Sharice ain't got no beef with you, she going to have beef with other people. It ain't going to be peaceful. It's always going to be mess going on. It's always going to be drama in Sharice's life because Sharice likes to keep up the drama. I may like Mazel for other women. I surely do. I think he looked like he was a nice man, but I don't like him for Sharice. Sharice need to go on over there and call back up Maurice. She need to call back up Maurice because Maurice is actually the best fit for her. Because Maurice knows how to handle Sharice. Maurice knows how to handle Sharice. And Sharice can't manipulate and control Maurice. He's cocky, he's arrogant, and that's actually what Sharice needs. That's actually the man Sharice needs. But at the same time, he's going to give her the life that she wants. And what she's going to have to get used to is she's going to get everything else she wants, but she's not going to get a man who wants to do everything she wants him to do, and she's going to be running him. Contradictions. This whole episode was about contradictions. But that's it, y'all. Tell me what you think down in my comments. I know some of y'all are mad at me. I know some of y'all are mad at me. But we can still be friends. We can still be friends even though you mad at me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.